I hear you, but can you hear me? I don't think you can. And the reason for that is because I use American Sign Language to communicate. This talk is about a search for belonging. Now, I grew up as the only deaf member of my family. My parents had emigrated from Ghana in West Africa. During their time there, they experienced many hardships, but they were able to move here. Never once did my parents pity me. And never once did my parents make me feel different from my brothers and my sisters. Deep inside, I still knew that I was different. I knew that I was missing the sounds of my life. I knew that I didn't fit in, though I was going to try. While I attended grade school, I was forced to attend speech therapy. I would sit across from my speech therapist and attempt to pronounce words the right way. It was tough. Trying to read lips, holding someone's throat to feel the vibrations again and again and again, just to be able to do this.
I could talk like this.
I had to act like I was a hearing person. And back when I was in school, I used to wear the big, boxy hearing aids that was strapped to the front of your chest with the strings hanging down your ears. And so it was obvious that I was different. And when you're different with kids, what do? They'll bully you. I tried my best to act like a robot to get the kids to laugh. And the bullying did go down just a little bit. I still didn't feel like I belonged, and I still didn't feel like I fit in. In high school, I tried out for the basketball team. The basketball coach said, "There's no place for you here. You can't hear. You can't follow directions." I really wanted to fit in, and I really wanted to belong. I remember running home crying one day. Spoke to my mother about the bullying situation. My mother pulled me by my chin so that I could read her lips, and she said, "Michael, you are a beautiful boy, and you should ignore them." Even after she said that, I still didn't feel like I fit in or belonged, but I knew that I was loved. And all of that love is what helped me get through all of the difficult times. After high school, I did go to college at Cal State Northridge. And let me tell y'all, college was transformative. And the reason why it was transformative is because it was the first time that I had ever met a deaf person. It was the first time that I experienced deaf culture. And the most important thing was that I learned American Sign Language. First time I saw it, I had myself just saying, "Oh my God, I can see the words. I can see the voices. I can see the emotions." Finally, my world is complete. And now I felt like I did belong. That sense of belonging was short-lived because of the way that I was viewed by other deaf people as not being deaf enough. Not deaf enough. I tried to join a deaf fraternity, and I was pushed aside. I didn't understand. I had just started learning sign language. I had just gotten my first taste of the deaf cultural experience, but I still use my voice. Often what I was told was, "Michael, you need to stop talking. You need to sign." And so I just wondered, would I ever fit in? It was a very lonely place to be at that time. And so, what I decided to do was to join a little brother program through one of our sister sororities. And what was really cool about it was the fact that, well, I loved being social, and I loved hanging out with girls. And all these deaf fraternity brothers weren't hanging out with all these girls, but I was. And so after that, really, After that, I decided to go into deaf advocacy. I knew that I would focus on both school as well as the community because everybody could benefit. What I wanted to prioritize was communications in ASL. And the reason for that is because deaf people have a right to their communication, they have a right to their language, and more than anything, they have a right to accessing and understanding everything that's going on in our environments. So part of these efforts, I got elected to serve on the University Student Union, and I would ultimately become one of the first Black Deaf board members. That's pretty cool, right? Not only that, thank you. Not only that, but I would ultimately become chair. So while I was running the University Student Union, I wanted to make sure that we focus on inclusivity. With my team, we were able to streamline a process for students to request interpreters to different events. And we also worked to improve the blue light emergency alarm system on campus for deaf and hard of hearing individuals, because what we wanted to do was make sure that they had access to the police in order for them to feel safe on campus. And even though this was targeted at deaf and hard of hearing folks, this accessibility benefits everyone. And that's absolutely key. Imagine my surprise when both the deaf and the hearing community decided to recognize me with the Outstanding Humanitarian Award. This is from Cal State Northridge, their Center on Deafness, the National Center on Deafness. Thank you. And so I have to say that CSUN was a wonderful experience, but it is a small microcosm within a larger world. Once I graduated, I moved back to Compton, and I was ready to start moving. But it seemed that Compton was not ready for me. I didn't have access to interpreters. I was constantly harassed by the police. People would make fun of me because I was talking with my hands. And all of those experiences at CSUN and beforehand inspired me to start working on what I'm doing right now, which is trying to connect deaf and hearing communities in my hometown of Compton. As I was getting started, the pandemic struck. I couldn't understand folks. I couldn't read their lips because everybody was wearing masks. Still, during that time, I started up the Compton ASL Club. And our goal was to expose hearing folks to ASL, first and foremost. Also, we wanted to expose to regular Black deaf folks living out their lives. And so we had a presence on social media. We taught ASL on both TikTok as well as Instagram. We produced some videos, and we actually have some of those videos with over 2 million views. We taught conversational ASL, and we also produced some of those videos that, had a funny spin to them. And are there any Star Wars fans here? Because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So I would like to go ahead and teach you all one of my favorite signs. All right, go ahead and put your index up, come around it, and then approach it with a C shape. All right? Now what this means is, may the force be with you. All right? Now I would like you all to go ahead and follow along with me. All right? Please follow along. Put your index fingers up. Put your hands around it like this. All right? That's the force, right? And this is the force of being with you. So may the force be with you. Yeah, now y'all know your first sign. Great job. Now, the Compton ASL Club didn't focus solely on teaching ASL, but we also focused on advising businesses, working on community councils, as well as mentoring, tutoring. We do toy drives for children, and along with that, just this year, we had a mentoring program with deaf elementary students who ended up performing the national anthem. was an absolutely amazing experience for everybody involved. And so I want you all to please join us, partner together with us, and follow us on Instagram. Now, with all of that being said, ASL is an absolute must for some, but it leads to a better experience for everyone. And that's really what I wanted to come and share with you all today. During this talk, you're going to see ASL interpreters present here in the auditorium, and that's because we have members of the deaf community here at TEDxManhattanBeach. And I want you all to recognize just how special it is when deaf folks and hearing folks can laugh together and enjoy one another in the same space. All of that's because you're all sharing an amazing day. And so now, I hear you. And now, I think you hear me. Thank you very much.